Welcome to Value Vest Daily, where we deep dive into the best value and momentum investment opportunities. Today, we are strapping in and looking at Rocket Lab, ticker RKLB. A monster catalyst is right around the corner, and it has us asking the big question: could this space innovator actually be a 10x investment by 2030? Let's find out. Look, after a pretty hefty 38% drop from its recent highs, Rocket Lab is sitting at a very interesting spot. So is this a massive red flag telling you to stay away, or is this the exact kind of discount smart investors dream about right before a stock takes off? We're going to break it all down and see if this is your launch window for a genuine space moonshot. So what is Rocket Lab really? I mean, in a field that's getting more and more crowded with some absolute giants, they've managed to carve out a super powerful position for themselves. Think of them as the ultimate one-stop shop for space. They do it all, from designing and building the satellites themselves to actually launching them into orbit. This all-in-one model, well, that's their secret weapon. And this right here perfectly shows you their game plan. See, while behemoths like SpaceX are focused on lifting massive payloads, Rocket Lab has become the undisputed king of the small satellite market. And let me tell you, that's a market that's set to explode, with over 10,000 satellites a year expected by 2030. Rocket Lab isn't trying to beat the giants at their own game. They're winning, and winning big in a whole different arena that's growing like crazy. Their advantages run deep. That term, vertical integration, it's not just some corporate buzzword. For them, it means they control everything, which lets them slash costs by an incredible 50% compared to their rivals. Their main rocket, the Electron, is an absolute workhorse, super reliable with a success rate over 94%. Plus, with launch pads in both New Zealand and the US, they have global flexibility nobody else can match. This is not a startup with a dream. It's a proven powerhouse. Okay, so they own the small launch market. That's fantastic. But that's not why we're talking about a potential 10x return. The real reason we're digging into this today is what's coming next. This is the big why now moment. And it all comes down to one thing: the Neutron rocket. Neutron is Rocket Lab's move into the big leagues. It's built to handle the medium-payload market, which is a whole segment they can't even touch with their current rocket. This isn't just some small upgrade. It's a quantum leap that totally transforms their entire business. And this number really puts that leap into perspective: 13 tons. That is a massive jump from the 300 kilograms their Electron rocket can handle. This is what will allow them to chase after much, much bigger and more profitable contracts, like launching entire satellite constellations all in one go. And get this, the demand is already off the charts, and Neutron hasn't even had its first flight. The company's launch backlog is already over $1 billion, and it's growing at an insane 80% year over year. That's incredible customer confidence, and it gives us a really clear picture of future revenues. The timeline here shows you just how close this all is. 2025 is already a record-breaking year for them. In just the third quarter, they signed 17 new contracts for Neutron. Again, a rocket that hasn't even launched yet. It's all building towards the main event, that first Neutron launch, which is targeted for early 2026. This isn't a pipe dream. It's right on the doorstep. So the story is incredible, right? It's exciting. But does the math actually work? Let's switch gears, follow the money, and see if the numbers really support this explosive growth story. Okay, looking at this snapshot, the first thing you're going to see is the negative PE ratio and return on equity. Now, that might scare some people off, but for a high-growth company that's pouring money into a game-changer like Neutron, this is exactly what you'd expect. They're burning cash to build a giant. But here's the key. Look at that debt-to-equity ratio. It's just 0.40. That means they're funding this massive expansion without drowning in debt, which is a huge sign of financial discipline. And while they're not profitable yet, just look at this revenue growth. We're talking a 54% jump in revenue year over year. This isn't just a story about the future. The business has serious momentum right now and is already delivering, even beating analyst estimates in their last earnings report. And when you look ahead, the picture gets even better. Wall Street analysts are projecting a mind-blowing 34% compound annual growth rate all the way through 2030. To put that in plain English, it means the business is expected to more than double in size about every 2.5 years. That is the kind of explosive growth that can create legendary returns. So the company's fundamentals look solid for a growth story, but what is the market itself telling us? Let's take a look at the charts and, even more importantly, let's see what the big institutional money is doing right now. From a technical perspective, that 38% drop has pushed the stock right into what a lot of traders would call a buy zone. A key indicator called the RSI is sitting at 24. Basically, anything below 30 suggests that the selling has been way overdone and the stock could be coiled for a major bounce. And on top of that, the price is sitting right near a historically strong level of support. So who actually owns this stock? Well, almost 60% of it is held by large institutions. That is a massive vote of confidence. When the big investment firms, the pension funds, and the huge asset managers own most of a company, it tells you they've done their homework and they believe in the long-term story. And they aren't just sitting on their hands. They are actively buying. In just the last quarter, financial giants like Vanguard and BlackRock added millions of shares to their holdings. This is the smart money accumulating shares during this dip right before the Neutron catalyst hits. That is a signal you should not ignore. All right, let's pull all of this together and talk about the potential payoff. What could this stock actually be worth if they pull this off? But just as importantly, we need to be very clear about what could go wrong. On the upside, analysts see a very clear path to some serious returns. The 3-year target of $83 would be nearly a double from where we are today. But the real excitement is in that 5-year outlook, with targets stretching all the way from $150 to $200 a share. We're talking a potential return of over 370%. To make that real for you, a $10,000 investment today could potentially grow to be worth around $35,000 in 5 years, if the company hits those bullish targets. That is the kind of return that can seriously change your financial picture. But hold on, let's do a reality check. This potential comes with very real risks. First and foremost, the entire bull case really hinges on Neutron. Any major delays or failures would be a huge problem. Second, the competition is no joke. SpaceX is always a threat and could put pressure on their prices. And finally, like we saw, they're burning cash. It's a race to get Neutron flying and become profitable before they run out of runway. So after looking at the incredible technology, the financials, the signals from the market, and the risks, what's our final verdict on Rocket Lab? Here's the bottom line. Rocket Lab offers what investors call a compelling asymmetric risk-to-reward opportunity. What that means is the potential upside seems to dramatically outweigh the potential downside. The Neutron rocket isn't just another launch vehicle. It is a massive catalyst that could force the entire market to completely reevaluate what this company is truly worth. And of course, just a reminder, this is not financial advice and is for informational purposes only. Please always make sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions. If you found this deep dive helpful, please subscribe, like, and share ValueVest Daily for learning totally unbiased daily opportunities before you put your money to work. Hey, and one more thing. Please put in a comment if you want us to deep dive into any specific ticker symbol. Thanks for watching.